Okay. Uh, PlayStation Vita 3DS. The last video didn't record it the way I wanted it to, so we're going to go ahead and do it again. We're going to call this working lunch. I know I said I was going to make myself some lunch, but I cheated and went to Mickey D's, so this is going to be a working lunch. Chicken McNuggets. Love them. Okay. PlayStation Vita drop, excuse me, 3DS drops its price from the original 250 to 160. Now, the thing I said when the 3DS came out in the first place was that it was a lot of good tech and it didn't have any games. See, because before the system launched, they were showing up all these games. They had a version of Metal Gear Solid, and they had things like they had Street Fighter 4, which of course did launch with it, and then they had Legend of Zelda and a few other things. But when it launched, I mean, hell, the system didn't even launch with all of its features. It didn't even have a web browser, and it didn't have all the games that they were talking about that they were going to have. So you had a $250 with pretty impressive tech with no games, and now it's a $160 system that still doesn't have any games. Call me crazy, but I think that's a problem. See, because software is what sells hardware. That's the way it's traditionally always been. Now, going to the holiday season, given that they have this price advantage and they're competing alone in the market, given that the PlayStation Vita has been pushed back to early 2012, of course it's going to mean more sales for them. I mean, you sell something at a lower price, yes, more people are going to buy it. I mean, that's kind of a no-shitter. But they still haven't solved the main problem in that they still don't really have any games to talk about, and that's a problem. Now, PlayStation Vita is coming out next year, and they're already been showing off some pretty impressive titles. It'll depend entirely on exactly what they launch with as to whether or not that system will be successful or not. I myself am looking forward to it because it's a lot of very, very, very impressive tech. And unlike they did for the PSP and the PlayStation 3, I feel that Sony has really nailed the price point for the PlayStation Vita. I mean, $250 for the Wi-Fi model and $300 for the version with 3G. That's pretty damn good. It gets a big thumbs up from yours truly. That was a really good idea. But it'll depend on what they launch with. Now, the difference is that okay, I'm a Sony person. Let's just go ahead and put that out there. I have, and it's not just because, it's just Sony or whatever, but they have a lot of first and second party developers that when I buy a Sony console, I know I'm going to see a lot of great games, and I know I'm going to see a lot of various types of games because their relationship with their first and second party studios is that strong. It's like they have more first party studios than any other major publisher out there combined. It's like, I mean, you have Microsoft and you have Nintendo, which are the other two. You put both of them together, and with first party studios, even second party, they have maybe half the amount that Sony has. Maybe half. I'm being generous by saying that. Yeah, beer. Perfect thing to go with lunch. Anyway, so that's where I'm standing on that. I don't know why it didn't get recorded as a part of my first video, because that video was actually a little bit more than 10 minutes long, and it's like apparently YouTube's letting me record for 15 minutes, and that didn't happen. So I don't know what's going on with that. It's like, I mean, I'm new to this whole broadcasting on YouTube thing. This is the first time I've really, well, third time, I guess, if one wants to get really technical, but the first day that I've recorded a bunch of stuff directly on YouTube. So we'll see how it goes, and so far I'm liking doing it. So, and plus talking these things out is a lot easier for me than typing them, because I'm much more of a just, well, for those of you that have known me for a long time, y'all know how I roll and all the podcasts and things like that. I think I mentioned that in the first video. But so yeah, look forward to seeing more of these. And one thing I mentioned in the first video that didn't get recorded is the fact that I don't do game reviews. And there's a reason why I don't do game reviews. And I'm not going to mention it now, but I'll get into it later on as the holiday season starts. Like, I'll do things like my thoughts on games, but I don't really like doing game reviews. And again, I'll get into why later. In the meantime, I guess I'm going to finish my lunch, and then I'm going to continue watching what has been my most recent obsession, which is Iron Chef America. call it my guilty pleasure or what have you. That's just how I roll. So I'm going to do that. And y'all can find me on G+, but you already know that. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, Evil Anubis, you can. Don't really say I give a shit. You really just need to be on G+, because that's the main place I really am. I'm sorry, these chicken nuggets are way too tempting. I'm going to stop this so I can eat, and y'all do what y'all do, and I will talk to you later. Peace.